Now what I can do, which is going to be a bit risky, ideally I would have liked to enter over here. I'm going to have my stops above here and target these lows over here. See if we can come back into these lows. So I go down, if I pop down to the 15-minute to see what it's doing over here. Yeah, I can definitely see it coming down. So now if you play price along, you can see it melting down. Again, I'm not really paying attention to session time here because we're back testing. But again, just roll stops to break even. Ideally, perfect entries would be over here, but for the sake of back testing, we can just play price along. Again, I'm really confident we can get down up to these lows, which we almost have. Let's just play it. And again, boom, that would have been a nice 1, 2, 3, I believe.
All right, folks, here we are on Trading Up. We've got Naira in the house. Now, Naira, you probably don't recognize him because he is the trader that came in top here on the Trading Nut channel for my 100,000 subscriber little bonus. It's a fan episode. I've seen what he can do, and we've got a bit of a treat for you guys. So he's going to walk us through a back test, a sort of random back test. I'm going to pick the pair, and he's going to show us how he gets into the trade and also how he executes one particular trade. So it's a nice little strategy. I think you guys are going to like it. But first of all, Naira, how did you get into trading? We'll just do a quick minor mini interview here.
Yeah, so I've been trading for 5 years now, and I got into trading through a YouTube advert. So when I was around 15 years old, I saw an advert from a broker, which I won't name, and I got really hooked onto it because they were advertising this lifestyle of making quick money. And at that time, obviously, when you're 15, you want to make some quick money. So I hopped on over to their website and started delving deeper into what this really was about.
Cool. And you just came up with your own style, or did you get some training?
No. So I've been trading for 5 years, and I'm all self-taught. So I went through all the things that you could do wrong, such as using indicators. I used loads of trend lines, and then eventually got put into the right path by watching some quite well-known traders like Lambo Raoul and Sean Lee, where they use structure. And so my strategy is based off structure and trend following as well.
Cool. Awesome. Brilliant. Well, look, let's share your screen and we'll get on with this. Folks, if you missed out on joining the Trading Nut Funded Cup, don't worry. With over 3,000 traders registered, my sponsors City Traders Imperium have decided to run another, but this time they've promised the prizes will be even bigger and better. Folks, if you want to register for this and show your skills as a trader, click on the link above or the link below the video or in the podcast description, then sign up for free before 15th of June 2022 and get 10% off any City Traders Imperium product just for entering the competition. Good luck, folks, and we'll see you in the cup.
Right, so would you like to choose a random pair for me?
Okay, let's jump in and choose a random pair. So we're going to go with Euro AUD.
Right, so...
Okay, is this a pair you normally trade?
No, so I usually trade... No, so I usually trade these 5 over here.
Okay, cool.
So Euro AUD isn't something I trade at all.
Yeah, cool. So this is it's a real random. You can tell it's random. We haven't staged this, guys.
Yeah. So you can just tell me when to stop. I don't want to go too far.
Yeah, don't go for it. Yeah, because you won't be able to.
Yeah,
December 13th. That's fine. Yeah, 2021. Yeah. Well, actually, let's make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that November. Yeah, that'll do. So you might not be able to get down to.
All right.
Too low a time frame.
Yeah, because I do use the 5 minute and 1 minute, so it might be a bit difficult.
Okay, you're probably not going to get to. Well, do your examples on that. Then maybe we can jump through to, let's say, March 1st to do your entry.
All right, that's perfect. So first off, for this example, I usually like to start from the 4-hour time frame, and I like to focus on the structure. So just going based on structure straight away, I see we're in this downtrend. And I look at structure a bit differently. So this is how I'm seeing the market right now. And I usually like to take these high probability setups, which are of base major levels of support and resistance. So I highlight this as a major level of resistance because this is where the market's come back to. However, the market needs to break this low for this to become a established level of resistance. So currently right now, what I'm seeing is this as my established level of resistance. And this may be a potential level of established resistance once we break this low. So I basically execute trades once price comes back into these established levels of highs or lows. So as we play out price, we just monitor price movement, and we see some sort of consolidation, and we've come right back into that level. Now this is a very high probability trade, and as you can see, this was a random play, and I can tell you there's a high level chance that we're going to get some sort of reaction off of this level. Now sometimes you need to be careful. Price could come up and grab liquidity. This is very, very important to know, because if you just enter extremely early here, and I will break down my entries and when I enter, but just to give a couple of examples, you need to be careful of these liquidity zones, because it can come up to grab them before it melts down. So if you play price on, we can see, look, it's come up, grab liquidity. Let's see if we can start rejecting. Okay, in this case, it clearly did not respect that level. So in this case, this would be a loss. Okay. But over time and over consistency, this seems to work. So now this is my level of resistance because we've broken this high. So now as we play price on, we wait for it to come back into that region. And as you see, it's coming back into that region, and we get some sort of rejection off of that level. Now, since we've broken that high over here, we use this as our level of support. And again, we wait for price to come back into that region, if it does give us that. If not, we just wait for price movement. Now price has come back into that level region, and we need some sort of level rejection, which we get over here. But let's see if we can hold and reject off of that. So again, we got a lot of consolidation because it does matter about the session times as well. But now I'm going to go into my entries and how I really take these trades. So as we play price on, I want this level to get broken and close below. And once we reach up to this level, this is where I'm going to look for sells. So we wait for price to play along, and we've come back up to this level over here. So we have this mini structure. However, overall, we're looking bearish. So if we look at this time, we're coming close to New York session. If we drop down to the 30-minute, we need to look for some sort of weakness. We see some sort of break of structure. This is coming up at 10. We need to wait for push back up. Now we drop down to the 5-minute because we're going to look for our entries over here. So I want price to come back up to this level over here before I look for sells. So here we've seen price coming back up and rejecting. Now I want to see this break of structure. We're seeing some consolidation. Now I want to drop down to the 1-minute. Let's see if we're able to drop down to the 1-minute. We're not able
it's
to.
Kicked you back to the current date and time. It was Friday. It was the 25th of December 2021. Folks, my crypto exchange sponsor Bitget really want to know what you think about crypto, and they're giving you a $10 trial fund just for completing their 2-minute survey. Now, I want to remind you, they're one of the largest crypto derivative exchanges in the world, and they even sponsor Juventus Football Club. To do the short survey, visit tradingnut.com or click the link in the description below or the card above. Right, so guys, we've worked out that we can't get 1-minute data, so we're going to go as low as 5. So we're going to choose another pair, which will be, let's go with GBP NZD.
Right, okay, so looking at structure, I see that market's in a bullish trend, again on the 4-hour time frame, and I see this level over here, so this order block over here, as my established level of support. So now what I'm looking for is price to come back into this region before I see some sort of reaction away from this zone. So if we play price on and wait for price to come back to this region, if it does. However, if this level does get broken above, we'll then look to reevaluate our level of support. So again, we're finding weakness at that high. Now we're consolidating in that zone. Okay, as we play price on, you can see that it's come back and reacted off of this level over here. So even just this move alone on a 5 minute is quite a substantial move, and entries could have been taken at the break of structure. So again, break of structure, wait for a retest to take buys over here. So if we play out on a 4-hour time frame, we can see that we see some sort of reaction over here. If we play on, we can see if we was to hold that position, we could just capitalize a lot more of that move up. So I'm going to show a couple more examples before I go deeper into how I would take these entries. Once I've highlighted how to identify these levels of support and resistance. Now, of course, we have substructures over here as well, which you can look to take sells or buys off. But for this, for this demo, I'm just going to be focused on the high probability setups over here. So as you can see, a beautiful reaction off of this HP setup as we play price on. Again, we want to wait for price to break and close above this high over here before we look to reevaluate. Otherwise, we can look to take sells back at this level again, but the probability does decrease as price comes and reacts over here again and again as structure becomes weak. But again, as I'm playing price along, all of these opportunities here is good enough to take these buys, especially on a lower time frame, like the 5 minute or 1 minute. Finally, we've broken this level of structure, so we can reevaluate, and then we can see that this level over here would act as our established high. So again, we want to wait for price to come back into this region, look for some weakness and a reaction off of this level over here. So as we play price along, again, now since we've broken this low over here, we can reevaluate and change this to be our major level of resistance. Again, we see price consolidating over here. We want to wait for price to break and close below over here before we reevaluate. Else we wait for it to come back and retest over here. Again, as price is melting, we just want to wait and see what it does. So now if we reevaluate, this is what I'm looking at. Right over here. Again, now reevaluating, I'm looking at this level over here. Because again, since we're breaking structure, if I just draw out structure and what I see price moving, consolidating, and I'm waiting for the break of this low. Once I finally get the break of this low, I'm looking for a retest back up over here. That's when I'm going to look to take sells. So now there's a good chance we could come back over here and look for sells. Straight away, we got a reaction over here. Couldn't really get entry because I pressed forward. But if I do get another opportunity, again, I really want to emphasize this HP setup does not come often since we are on the 4H time frame. So you do need a sub strategy to take trades during intraday moves. However, this overall long-term move is really worth waiting because you can get beautiful reactions off of this level. Now, again, since we've broken this low, we want to then reevaluate and we look for price to come back into this level over here before we look for sells. It's very important to highlight these levels. Take substructure trades up into this level as we know that price is going to attract this level. Once we come back into this level over here, immediately we get some sort of reaction, as you can see. However, you can now break this down on a lower time frame to look for entries. And again, we want to look for the same thing over here. Since we kind of missed this entry over here, we would wait for this break of structure, retest to take these trades. Let's see if price comes back up again into our level, which it does, which is beautiful. Again, this is our substructure resistance over here. We see some sort of weakness. I'm gonna wait for price to play on. Okay, now I'm gonna break it down to the 5-minute time frame. Now I can see that this is our major level of resistance. I'm gonna wait for price to break below this level, retest it before I look for entries. However, as we play price on, we can reevaluate and see what price would do. Okay, straight away, I think I can drop down to the 1 minute. I can't drop down to the 1 minute. All right, let me just hide this so I can't see it, because that is still a beautiful opportunity we're trying to get into.
Yeah.
Where's that?
So it was probably about the 1st of... If you started at the 1st of April, you'd be close. Or 5th of April or something.
Okay, perfect.
Should see where you are. Yeah, okay, that's where you were before, yeah.
Okay.
So you can't go as low as 1 minute.
Okay, that's fine. So I'm just going to play price along. We've come back into this region.
Yep.
I'm going to drop to the 5 minute quickly. Now it's important not to just take impulsive sell entries over here, because we can easily break through this level since we've already got a reaction off over here. So I'm going to wait for a break of structure for price to show me that we're still intending to go towards the downside. So again, we've got this beautiful break of structure. Since I can't really go to the down 1 minute, we're going to wait for this retracement. Some sort of weakness over here. Now what I can do, which is going to be a bit risky, ideally I would have liked to enter over here. I'm going to have my stops above here and target these lows over here. See if we can come back into these lows. So I'll go down, if I pop down to the 15 minute to see what it's doing over here. Yeah, I can definitely see it coming down. So now if you play price along, you can see it melting down. Again, I'm not really paying attention to session time here because we're back testing. But again, just roll stops to break even. Ideally, perfect entries would be over here, but for the sake of back testing, we can just play price along. Again, I'm really confident we can get down up to these lows, which we almost have. Let's just play it. And again, boom, that would have been a nice 1 to 3, I believe.
Well, yes, have a look. That looks like it's about a 1 to 3.5 almost. Do you want to put the stop back to where it was? 1 to 3.5.
Yeah, so that's it. And again, we could have got much better sniper entries over here, but even with this huge 34 pip stop loss, you can still get a clean 1 to 3.5 restored. Again, I'm just going to show just one more example to really emphasize this importance of structure. So again, I'm just going to play price along, and we want to wait again for the break of this low before we look to reevaluate for these HB setups, these high probability setups. Okay, we've broken the structure. So now this is the level I'm looking to take sells off over here, right over here. And again, what I'm looking at, for anyone that's confused, this is what I see happening over here. Okay, and now if you play price along and see if we can come back up into this region again, we'll see a nice, beautiful reaction off of this level. And you need to also be careful that we can always come up and grab liquidity before breaking back down. So boom, it's come up, grab liquidity. Can it hold? Okay, so I guess it has come up, grab liquidity from here. This is why it's important to never just impulsively enter, go down to lower time frames and look for break of structures before entering. So again, if you was looking at, oh, sorry about that. So again, if you was looking at it from a 30-minute time frame, you would not look to enter over here because you don't see no break of structure. You'd want to wait for a break of structure, as we see over here. We see this break of structure before then entering sells over here. So again, like with my last example I showed, you can always enter these trades. I just want to show one more example with the entry to really emphasize and bring this point home. So again, I see this as my level of support. I'm going to wait for price to come back into this region before taking buys. Otherwise, I'm not really looking to get into the market. You can always use another strategy to enter with substructure. Okay, so straight away, I see the break of this high. So I'm going to reevaluate, and I'm going to use this level over here as my level of support. So I'm going to wait for price to come back into this region if we can, since we've already got that reaction. We might get a break below. Again, I feel as though price has come back, grab liquidity, before pushing back up. So again, you can always get reactions off of these levels. So you can't always enter impulsively over here. And you need to break it down to lower time frames. Wait for breakup structures. Wait for retests before looking to enter long. So again, I'm just going to quickly enter a long position over here. Nothing too accurate. Again, having my stops below here, so if I'm wrong, I know that market's changing direction. Again, we're getting a lot of consolidation, so and boom, straight up into sucks. So again, rolling stops to break even. I'm not going to move it for the sake of risk to reward. But boom, TP hit again. Again, very rough examples, nothing too accurate. You can always go down to lower time frames, but for the sake of backtesting, I'm just going to keep it very broad. So I hope you guys really understand and took away how to execute off these levels, and always understanding liquidity, because the market makers are trying to take out all the retail traders before pushing up into that direction.
Awesome.
And so, yeah, that's basically it.
Hey folks, you ever wonder what broker I use? Well, I use HankoTrade. It was a no-brainer because I was looking for a broker with good trading conditions and one that wouldn't restrict my leverage. Now, by joining HankoTrade, I've also cut down my trading costs significantly with their super low commission of just $1 per 100K. You can learn more at hankotrade.com or just click the link I've put in the description. Brilliant. Well, look, that's fantastic. I mean, I've had a lot of guys who've been guests of the show come on and do my backtest challenge in the past, and some of them haven't got 5R. A lot of them haven't got 5R. So to get that off the bat, off 2 trades without any losses is pretty stunning on pairs that you don't trade. So well done, and thank you for coming on. It's fantastic to get a fan of the show on just to show them show us what they're doing. Now, what's the best, if you want to, you can promote yourself now, so just let people know how they can find you.
So if you guys want to find me, you can always find me on Instagram. As you can see, it says Naira Capital. So if you type Naira Capital, I'll come up. I'm also on YouTube as well. I have a couple YouTube videos also explaining and breaking down these videos and how to pass FTMO challenges. So you can always visit Naira Capital there as well.
Cool, guys. And what we'll do is we'll put a link in the show notes to those as well, so you can find them. And thanks once again for coming on and being part of the show. And guys, do remember, hit subscribe, hit like, and click on that notifications bell, and click all to get future videos like this in the future. Thanks for watching. See ya.